Well, hello everyone. My name's Kyle, and I'm the Pentographer, and welcome back to my channel. So today I was going to talk about pen and ink combinations. Now, I think this is a selling point of fountain pens, but it could be treated as one of the more frivolous aspects. Now, I don't think that, but there are also an overabundance of people talking about this. They give you specific cases. They do, my pen and ink of the week kind of thing. And I don't plan on going so in depth on this content like that. My goal is actually to cover these aspects. How should I say? Cover this stuff more practically, let's say. I think that there is a lot of value to this aspect of fountain pens, and I do think it serves a practical purpose as well as an aesthetic one. So I'll cover the aesthetic first because I think it's a little easier, and then I will cover the practical. So the aesthetic reasons for combining different pens with different inks is there's several of them. So the first one is it just looks nice. Depending on the combinations you do, it just looks really nice to have pens paired with different inks. It's an enjoyable part of the hobby. It's an enjoyable part of writing. When you're writing with an ink that you like versus an ink that you don't like or don't have a choice in. And so that's one aspect of it. Now, you can combine pens and inks many different ways. And personally, I like to combine in a few different ways. So the first way that you can combine a pen and ink is matching colors. So for example, I have a green Lamy Ion, and I often put Diamine Sherwood green in it. Now that was an intentional choice. I wanted a green pen that had green ink. Because I like green. Like, green is sort of the color I like the most. So I wanted a green that was dark enough to use, like as an everyday ink, but not like a blue or a black. I didn't want blue or black. Not that I'm against those colors, but every pen, every normal pen, every rollerball ballpoint kind of comes in that blue or black color. It's pretty common. And I just prefer green. So I wanted a green ink that was nice and dark, but also a nice rich green. And then so the Lamy Ion also fits that description. It's a nice dark green, but it's usable every day. And very rich, a very rich green. So I combined that pen and that ink intentionally. Another way to combine your pen and ink is, like thematic. Like, you could combine them in a thematic way. So for example, who is it? I think it is, the name, Schaefer, that's the name. Schaefer does a pen that is explicitly coffee themed, which is perfect for an Oster because everybody on Oster loves coffee. As I drink my own. You can combine that, and then you could combine that pen with either a named ink or a similar color ink, right? So I know there are coffee themed inks, and you could use those. I don't have any of them, so I can't give you a name off the top of my head, but I know they exist. Or you could do just like a brown ink, like any brown ink really might work for that sort of thing. So you can combine them thematically. You can combine them matching colors, and the another way to do it, and sort of the third and maybe final way, unless you go just straight like, I use black ink in my black pen, is complementary colors. So for example, I have a Monteverde, a Nova, in a nice rich dark green as well, that I pair with red inks. You could pair a darker colored pen with a lighter ink. Not necessarily complementary colors, but complementary shades. You can combine like a blue and a yellow, or a blue and an orange, or you could combine, well, like green and red, green and orange, you know, that sort of thing. So you can combine them that way. It's a nice way of doing it because the pen and the ink themselves look good together. So that's a way of doing it. And then sort of the final way of doing it would be, what would it be? And the final way of doing it would probably be not complementary colors, but why am I drawing a blank on this? Oh, and the final way of complementing or doing your pen and ink combinations is like warm and cold. It's kind of along the complementary color line, but you can do a warm and cold color combination. So you can do, I often do blue and purple or green and purple. Green being a more cool color and purple being a warmed up color. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a warm color, but it's definitely warmed up because it's blue and red, right? You could do, again, as I said, blue and orange or blue and red, green and red, green and orange, black and white kind of works in that regard. But yeah, you can kind of match colors, either a cool ink and a warm pen, or a warm pen, or a warm ink and a cool pen. So you can do that too. So those are sort of that's an overview of the aesthetic reasons for why you want to match your pens and your inks, and some various ways of doing that. So personally, I think the practical reasons for this are, number one, it helps your pen stand out, which I think is a practical reason. It might be why you pick that pen, because you know you pair it with a certain ink that you know is going to work for that scenario. So for example, I do have a black pen and a black ink, and I pair them specifically because, well, it's a black pen, and the black ink works well with that pen. So, and that black ink is the carbon black, and I use that one a lot because it is an ink that is water resistant. So it's useful in a lot more scenarios than it's not, because there are times when your pages get wet if you're caught in the rain, or if they go through the wash. I've had a notebook go through the wash, and the only ink that survived in it was the carbon black. I still have to rewrite all of those notes, actually. So yeah, so there's some practical reasons for why you might want to combine your pen and your ink in a certain way. Kind of less practical and more aesthetic. But sort of the reason why I guess it's practical as well, and this is one of the selling points of fountain pens, so this is why I don't think it's a frivolous topic, is because it makes it unique for you. It makes it more personal. You're not just grabbing a black pen because it's going to have black ink in it. You're grabbing a colored pen that you paired specifically with an ink that you like, that you enjoy. And I think that makes the experience more personal, and it makes it more worth it, and it makes it more inclined to do it. I'm more inclined to pick up any fountain pen I have versus some non-fountain pen equivalent. I don't care for rollerballs or ballpoints. Like, they have their place, definitely. I'm not going to say they don't, but I'm much less likely to pick them up than a fountain pen. And that's part of the reason why. It's because I get to choose my ink. It is refillable. I get to do that all day, every day, versus doing something picking up a normal pen. So that's kind of the overview. That's kind of my thoughts on it. And I think that's all I've got for you. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like, share, and subscribe. Those 3 things, do them. And we'll keep this channel growing, and I will keep improving the content. I do plan on sitting down and doing edited videos of these. I'm trying to, like, I'll bank these car vlogs, but I'm trying to move away from them a little bit more. The problem is that they're fast. I can create them quite quickly, and as long as I've got my thoughts relatively, I know I'm doing a lot of ums and ahs here and there, and sometimes I forget stuff, but the more I do this, the better I'll get. I can guarantee you that. So I try to keep it going. And oh, this is a guy that doesn't have a signal on. That's right. Okay, so I will leave it there. I hope you I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, may your pen always be inked.